Got it. All right. So Frank Donley, the sailor that sells home. All right. So I've known you for a while. I remember when you started off selling houses, it was kind of a bit of a slow start. And after a couple months, I see one or two here and there. Now it seems like you're posting them either every other day or I know you got a 2 in 1 day once. And so I want to ask you, how did you end up in your career right now?
Man, so I got out of the Navy, I want to say active duty 2017 to go do law enforcement. My wife was pregnant with my twins, and I was scared shitless because, leaving the military, steady paycheck, and the only thing I had was my BAH. And I was waiting in the background process with a couple different departments, and I just decided to get my real estate license while I was waiting to get into one of the departments I was hoping to work for. And got my license just to make some money while I was going to school and be able to take care of my family. That's how I got my foot in the door.
All right. And so when you did that, did you already know you wanted to do real estate, or is it just one of those like you were hoping you're like basically setting a net out there for careers and what you caught you would run with?
So basically, man, honestly, I didn't think of it. I didn't think I was gonna end up falling in love with it and making it a career. I honestly was in a position where I was applying for different law enforcement agencies, and I guess, coming from the military, I thought I was just gonna get in. It was gonna happen overnight, or maybe 3 6 months max. And the background process, everything they normally take, I guess they're taking up certain people up to a year to possibly 2 years just to get into the certain departments. So I was like, man, like I'm barely making it by. Living paycheck to paycheck and struggling. So I had to do something else to supplement income while I was able to go to school. And real estate was one area where I can still go to school and at the same time work in my own hours, even though I would probably put in 60 plus hours a week with work and then probably 3 hours, 24 hours with school. So I was loading my plate. But I got in just to basically pay my bills, and then I honestly started falling in love with it. Started helping people, started getting people in the home, started helping people sell their houses, and I was like, man, I can see myself doing this forever and seeing the potential that real estate has.
That's great, man. And so when you started, or even like right now, I'm assuming you face, hard situations, things you had to manage or whatnot. And what are some problems that you see on a daily basis that you just always see happening?
Man, so like I always tell everybody, real estate is a simple business, but it's not an easy business. It took me, I want to say 6 to 7 months before I got my first paycheck. So just imagine that day in, day out, working your butt off, and coming home to the wife and the kids and like, hey man, like I haven't made any money yet. Just trying to make it for your family. And then the beginning was rough, and I just didn't have the right guidance that I needed at the time to point me in the right direction. Like I was trying to do everything that just wasn't working. It felt like, but the beginning was rough. But now I have a system. I was coming from the military, helps big time. Coming from the Navy, having that day-to-day routine, getting in the office at the same time every day, doing the things that other people don't do, by being disciplined and being consistent and having a schedule really changed my whole business. Just completely 100 around. I'm gonna interview. So it just completely changed everything around. And it was so every day I have a schedule, and one thing that is difficult is objections. I have objections every day. People tell me, oh, like I honestly cold call every day. I call my family and friends, knock on doors, and most of my business comes from people that I know that like me and trust me, and that's where I get most of my business from. But at the same time, I even have family and friends that will go work with another agent. They're like, oh, I just walked to this house and bought this house. I was like, dang, why didn't you call me? I would have helped you.
That must hurt.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit, man. It hurts a little bit. And I learned how to not be emotional, when it comes to this stuff. Because I'm the type of person that I'm going to use a family or friend before I use anybody else. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I asked him, was that person a family or friend? Oh, no, he was just there. Or he was a listing agent. I was like, oh, shoot, man. I'm like, I would have used you if you had a business and that's just where I come from. That's just who I am. But not everybody's like that. So coming to realization that people aren't like that. Some of your friends or family members are just gonna forget about you. That's a little tough. Um, getting told to F off when I do my cold calls, it happens every day, damn near. I gotten used to it, but in the beginning, it was hard, man, picking up that phone and dialing, and someone just telling me, hey, F you. Okay, I'm just trying to see if you need any help with it, maybe buying or selling a home. So, yeah, objections can be really tough, and for most people, they can't handle it. And at the beginning, it was hard for me, but now I just realized one more no is closer to a yes, to where I can go home to my family and know that I did enough for my family to, give them the life that they deserve at the end of the day.
Yeah, that sounds pretty stressful. And with all that going on, is there anything you do to help yourself like maintain focus? I mean, like you said, a couple no's lead to a yes, but is there anything that goes on in the back of your mind, or something else that you constantly tell yourself, or just, what keeps you going?
Oh yeah. I know I'm not like, what my biggest why in my life today is my family, my wife and my kids. There's nothing I love more than my family. And the way I look at it is every day someone's gonna buy or sell a home. And it just comes down to, are they gonna buy and sell with me, or are they gonna go use someone else? And I'm not gonna work with everybody, but I just gotta do my best to get in front of the most people and actually help people to get into a home, sell a home. But I keep a dream board right next to my where I work out of. So when I have a bad day, or say I get a no, or someone tells me to F off, okay, am I able to cuss here, or is it
No, yeah, you're good, man.
okay? I get told to fuck off. I look at that dream board, and in the middle of it, I have a picture of my family, and I'm like, I do this because of you. Every day, I look at that dream board, and that's the reason why I feel that I'm able to get through all the bullshit. Because without that dream board, honestly, I'd probably quit and fucking throw in the towel and be like, you know what? I'm gonna start putting some applications at the police department, the county, and getting law enforcement. Because this, like I tell everybody, it's not an easy job, it's not a simple job, and you're kind of solo in this business. You're on your own.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so also something else is going on. There's a lot of stuff on the outside as well. Kind of like right now, how we got COVID-19 going on. I'm assuming it's affected you a lot, since you're having to go, door to door with the individuals.
Mhm.
And even some people who mind or don't mind COVID-19, there's still like reminders. So, life's not as normal as it used to be, or, maybe not many people want to go face to face and see the houses. So how have you changed, or how do you handle your business differently now with, COVID-19 affecting everything compared to before?
So yeah, I definitely threw a curveball for the whole world, right? And one of the biggest things, everybody was freaking out when it first happened, and
Yeah.
for most people, it really messed up their business. And honestly, I seen opportunity at the time. I was like, okay, all these agents have been around for years, that have done a shit ton of business. They're starting to go home and hide, and they don't want to work because they're scared of COVID-19, which everyone has. They have a good reason to. Especially if they're elderly. They have a good reason to be scared and stuff. Especially all the bullshit that's on the news, scaring the shit out of everybody. I was like, okay, how can I get in front of the most people and help the most people right now while everybody's scared and they don't know what the hell's going on with the world? I don't believe on, living in fear. I believe on, okay, while everybody's retreating, it's a time to attack. It's a time to go out there and get business. And that's the way I looked at it. And in the beginning of it, when it all happened, I was still working hard. I was still in the office. And I was honestly one of the only ones in the office while this was happening. So I was making my calls and talking to people, of course, checking in on people, checking on their families. Because, people lost, it's people they love, family, friends. And, I've lost people I loved due to COVID. And it's, to come from a place of, hey, I'm going to check in on you. Is there anything I can do, to help you and your family? And, of course, take the safe precautions. When I showed houses, of course, we wore masks. Some places we use, gloves. We did a lot of, I do 3D tours on all my listings. If you list with me,
Okay.
I want to have a 3D tour in your home. I have, a videographer come through the home and check everything out. So what this does is limits the amount of people that can come for. I actually have a lot of people come to the house, the listing, but if a client didn't want people in their house, that people were ready to write offers because they actually see the whole house without actually seeing it with the 3D tours. So that was something that I was offering through that time. And honestly, I still offer it with all my listings, and a lot of video showings at first. So I was doing video showings, and of course I respect everybody's outlook of life. So if they want to now, like if someone doesn't want me wearing a mask, I don't wear a mask. If they want me to wear a mask, I wear a mask. All respect to whoever I'm around. Yeah, you definitely had to adapt. But the way I looked at it was a lot of people were retreating. I needed attack, and honestly, that's when my business took off. I did move across country during this and go to another state because me and my wife wanted to. Start. I wanted to give her the opportunity to see how she liked where she grew up at, or to go live with where she grew up. And then I moved all the way out there, and she decided to want to come back. I was like, hey, we're already here. I'm staying. I already moved you across country. I'm staying. But even out there, I was like, dude, there's opportunity everywhere. I don't care where I'm going. I will find a way to make it work. So that's just how I looked at it, man. I gotta find a way to make it work. I got kids, I got mouths to feed. If someone's gonna do the business, and I'd rather it be me than someone else.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And the way you were saying that, there's a saying, and you were saying it too in your own words. When everyone else is being greedy, that's the time to be cautious, or that's the time to be scared. But when everyone else is being scared, that's the time for you to be greedy. So while everyone's backing off, you're out there going out there, getting job done, whatever, profiting, whatever it is, you got to take advantage of that. And I like that you said that. And I think that's awesome. That was definitely a big, like you said, a giant curveball. And to be able to record everything, and people that aren't able to come in still have them involved without them being there. I think that's freaking awesome, man. And so when you're doing this, and I know for when you're selling a home, there's a lot of people that say that they're about to purchase the house or whatnot, and some people may stay, some people may not stay and leave, kind of leave you out in the open. What's your mindset before you close anything? Before you've already talked to whoever's looking at the house. You're starting to run some paperwork, and some people like to look at the goal ahead or the end result. But before you get there, what keeps you going, when there's doubt?
When there's doubt, when there's doubt in my client's mind, or the doubt in my mind?
When there's doubt that you're not sure what's going to happen, if the client's not really, taking you seriously, or they might be wasting your time, because you never really know, until like the house is closed and everything. So kind of during the whole process, because I'm pretty sure you've had people, flake on you and whatnot. Yeah, you had. So what's your mindset? Like now you've got them in the bag, you're getting ready. What now?
So when I first got in this business, I was very emotionally attached because I didn't have a whole lot going on. Like I was living paycheck to paycheck. It was that one deal was, that was the way I looked at it, was going to help my family. Pay our bills and shit. Now it's the way I look at it is, no matter what happens, I don't get paid until a home closes. So I don't even count it. Like I don't count anything until it's closed, because anything can happen. You never know. So you got a buyer into a home, something goes wrong through escrow. You have a seller in home, something goes wrong in escrow and it falls out of escrow. You got to start all over again. Or sometimes people change their mind. I've had sellers where they're ready to go out of state, and we got pictures taken. I already spent freaking $600, $1,000 on a person's house, and for the marketing alone, and then they change their mind. It's like, well, shit, now I gotta eat it. But I just learned I need to, come from a place of giving that helps somebody, and of course have multiple things going on instead of being dependent on one. So I'm a big believer on, abundance, and making sure I get enough business, and making sure I have enough money in the account to where I'm never going to do anything out of desperation, which a lot of people in this industry do. I mean, that, let's just say, I mean, real estate agent, that's the only deal that they had in the past 3 months, and they're struggling on paying their bills. Someone that comes from a place of desperation would then make, you know, a bad decision or do something out of greed. I mean, not greed, they just got to survive. And I never want to be in that position again in my life. Of course, you know, when I first started, like I was never going to take advantage of anyone, but like I was really heartbroken if something didn't work out. Now I'm in a position where I got an emergency fund where if something doesn't work out, it's fine. You know what I mean? On to the next one. I'm gonna help someone else out because shit happens. And yeah, I just don't want to ever be in that place again because I've been there where, you know, I'm trying to just feed my family. And I just know, make sure I have an emergency fund, make sure my family's taken care of, and have multiple deals going on at once so that I'm helping enough people, bringing value to people, and I don't ever got to worry about one deal. If that one deal doesn't work out, okay, I'm fine. Or 2 deals doesn't work out, okay, I'm good. Now, you know, so that's kind of the way I look at it now. I try to come from a place of abundance and making sure that I have that cushion.
All right, man. Well, obviously there's gonna be a lot of veterans coming out pretty soon, or they're gonna start transitioning to veterans coming out of active duty. A lot of them are gonna be looking for, you know, going into your type of career. Is there any type of advice you would give them aside just for the career itself, but also mental toughness, you know, things to look out for? Because I understand a lot of people, they get anxiety, you know, depression, they get into depression. They like to look at, they look to like, they look at everything as a whole, you know, all those little steps they should be taking individually, they kind of crowd themselves and they get stressed out. So seeing you, how you're handling your business, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, to go several months without, you know, pay, and you're taking care of, you know, your family, you got kids, and to come from that, you know, that says a lot about you, man. I mean, that's mental toughness for sure. But so do you have any tips?
Yeah, man, definitely. You know, I don't know if it was depression. I've been through, you know, in some places where I was just tough places, especially getting out of the military to going into civilian life. Honestly, the first 2 years were really tough for me. And because I didn't get prepared correctly. I thought I had everything in the bag. I mean, and eventually when I did get picked up to join an agency, I was already doing so damn good in real estate. I had to have a talk with my wife, and I was like, "What should we do?" And my wife really pushed me to stay in real estate. I wanted to do law enforcement. I was like, "Hey, I'm going to take this job," but I I want the freedom that I can bring, but getting out and getting to civilian world can be tough. But if you're trying to get into real estate, I highly recommend have a cushion. Have 6 months in the bank of your bills, so you don't so you have that cushion. Now, when you get started in real estate, make sure you interview with different brokerages and find one that's going to have really good training at the beginning. Training is a big deal. Unfortunately, a lot of brokerages don't offer great training. They offer a lot of stuff about things that aren't important. And honestly, when I got really good into real estate is when I joined this program. It's called Mike Berry Organization. It's a coaching program. And that's when my real estate business just literally took off. When I started doing coaching and started training with people that are very successful in the business. So I would recommend the Mike Berry Organization for anybody that is getting into real estate. You know, I mean, it's a training program, but it's going to keep you in line. And it's going to basically guide you to success and teach you how to be a good realtor. And for mental toughness, man, it goes a long ways in this business because I mean, a lot of people nowadays they don't have a lot of mental toughness. Everybody wants everything fucking given to them. And this business is a capitalistic business. You don't know when your next paycheck is. You got to be out there going and hunting for business. You have to be a hunter. Nothing's given to you. And you honestly, I get up in the morning, I work out, keep my mind right. I don't even work out for my body. Of course, it's my body too, but I don't really. So the main thing for me is just getting up early to get my mind right so I can start my day ahead of everybody else. Because most people don't get into office about 9 o'clock. I'm in the office at still 7:30, banging on the phone after I already got an hour workout in and got my mind right, listening to some affirmations and audiobooks. But at the end of the day, just find out what you really want with your life who you're really doing this for. You're doing this for yourself, you're doing this for your family, you're doing this for your kids. So you have that reason to push. And you know, I mean, just be right between the ears, because you can easily be taken off track in this business. I had recently where I had a unfortunate situation where I lost my brother and my best friend, and I want to say 2 months, man. It was fucking getting out of bed. It was, I mean, even then, even right now, it's tough to get out of bed. But I tell myself, you know what I mean, I had to push past this because the world don't stop for nobody. It won't stop for me. It won't stop for you. It won't stop for the guy next to you. And you just got to push through it, be strong, and I mean, be the best person you can be. Mental toughness, it's a big deal, man. Like, and there's a lot of good books. Read books. I read books. I listen to audiobooks, but I read more than anything. I look at myself in the mirror, and you trip out because if I'm having a bad day or if I don't want to get up, I just look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself, "Don't be a bitch. Get your ass out there and do what you got to do for your family." And I look at myself in the mirror because at the end of the day, if I don't provide for my family, I have to look at that man in the mirror and ask myself, did I do enough for my kids? Did I do enough for my wife? And if I say no, then I better go back out there and start working some more. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's like you said, you know, I just started recently doing that too. I was one of those people where I'd wake up just in time to rush to get ready or rush to get to work. And it is definitely a big issue. And I definitely felt myself going through something mentally. And right now, well, the first thing I did was I started waking up, man, 30 minutes prior extra than my usual time. Now I'm waking up hour and a half, 2 hours. I come into the garage. I might read a book, one of my digital ones. I get a workout in real quick, and it feels so much better. Whatever stress I had the day before, or you know, just whatever accumulated over the week or overnight, you get up in the morning, you work it out, and it's gone, and you start your day fresh. Or at least that's what it seems like.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah, the early bird gets the worm, man. They really do.
yeah. And I see these pictures you sent me, man. The people you're selling homes to, they look happy.
You know,
Do you ever get any feedback from them?
yeah. Yeah, man, you can go on my Google page. You can go on Zillow. Right now, you can find me on Google under Team Donley, hashtag Sailor Sells Homes. When you look me up, Frank Donley, and you can see the reviews that are left behind. And that just shows, like, man, how many people's lives I've affected. And honestly, at the end of the day, yeah, I do this for my family. I do this for the people, for my kids, for my wife. Those are the people I do it for. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day. But when I help a family, I mean, get into their home and you hand them the keys, or you sell someone's home for top dollar, and they're just like, man, they're, I believe on under promising, over delivering. And man, I just love seeing the smiles on their face, or just the reviews they leave me. Like, I asked everybody to leave me a review, and when they leave me a review and they're like, "Hey man, this Frank Donley became part of the family. You know, he took real good care of us." It makes the job worth it. It makes, I mean, I do it, I mean, for my family, but then I do it for my clients as well, and for my friends that I help out. But it makes it worth it, man. Like, those smiles are just, I mean, like sometimes you're helping someone that's, let's just say 50 years old, never bought a house in their life, and you give them their first freaking keys, and you know what I mean? Like, it's a great feeling, man. It really is.
That's awesome, man. I know you're out there doing good things, man. And I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you had someone come in. You look like a busy man.
Oh, you're good.
But
That was one of my offices. Our office manager, she's a sweetheart, man. I should have probably told her, hey, I'm gonna be in a meeting, but I know, yeah. But I'm not. You have any other questions or anything you'd like to ask at all?
no, me personally, no. I'm pretty sure I'm be keeping it on base with you in a couple of months. You know, touching down, see how things are going. Hopefully, we have you on here again, and you know, see how things develop. Obviously, this COVID situation is going to keep going. People are still going to be, you know, involved or you know, affected in either big or minor ways. And just to see you coming on top and still dealing with that daily, you know, I feel like that's going to be something good for us to reflect on. You know,
Heck yeah, man.
see what's
I'm
happened
looking
since then.
as many veterans as I possibly can. You know what I mean? Anybody that can reach out to me to talk to somebody. Because I've been in some of the worst situations where I'm like, fuck, man. I mean, life really sucks right now, and then, being in a better position, not nearly where I want to be, or where I feel like I can be, but I want to, especially get out of the military, it's a tough process, man. We go from, military to civilian life. But don't let that keep you down. Keep working hard. There's a lot of opportunity out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. We got brothers out there, sisters out there that you can always reach out to. And if you ever need to reach out to me, man, I'm like anybody that's watching this, go ahead and reach out to me. If you're ever gonna buy a house, sell a house in the Southern California area, I have teams out of Hemet, San Jacinto, Menifee, Marietta. I'm moving to Oceanside soon, so I'll be out on the beach areas, the North San Diego area. And then I have the biggest network of some of the best realtors out there. If you're in Texas, if you're in New York, I can connect you guys with, man. I want to make sure I take care of all our veterans the best way possible.
All right. Thank you for that, man. I really appreciate that interview. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go and handle your business. All right.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, brother. Thank you for having me on, man. How do you say it? Gray Stoic?
Yeah, the Gray Stoic.
I like that, man. I love that name. How'd you come up with that name?
What was that?
How'd you come up with the name?
Oh, well, I started getting into I always liked philosophy, but then I fell upon Stoicism. And I like how out of all the philosophies there are, this is the one that actually requires you to apply yourself physically. So it's one thing to where you question something or, you just question authority, just questioning things.
Yeah.
But now you have to question yourself, your integrity. You have to ask what's important. And the only way to find out really any of those things, if they really matter to you, is to get the job done. A lot of the base on Stoicism is you do an action, or if you want to do an action, you do something, you take a step back, you observe what's going on. So you're no longer seeing things, like, oh, my kid fell off a bike. You're not observing. You're like, oh, well, this happened and this happened. Maybe I can improve it this way. And so I just like how it's if I'm trying to build a better life for myself, or I'm trying to prove myself as a man, or just do better, like other people trying to do good in business, it really helps them develop that mental toughness,
Nice.
And then the gray is because there's a lot of people that are trying to do self-improvements, and no one can make that jump immediately, so one moment you're your traditional self where we have our daily lives, you're still trying to learn how to deal with anxiety, stress and whatnot, and you're trying to be this great person. Well, there's that gray area in between. And that's why I'm trying to go with the Gray Stoic, because also a lot of people that do Stoicism, they're already there. They've already successful in their business or whatever. And I'm just trying to record my path, my journey along the way, I feel like it feels a little bit more real, like this is what I'm dealing with too.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I love it, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah, man. You have a good one.
You too.